This is AJ here from Just Teaching Stuff. Hope you guys are well. Guys, I have fantastic guests with me today. This is actually the first video for my series of Etsy seller stories. And Karen, you're my first guest, and I'm really honored to have you here. So hi from London.
Hello from Australia. Thank you for having me.
You're absolutely, it's my pleasure. Honestly, it's my pleasure. I saw your video right about 2 months ago, and it's gone viral now. It's like 200K views.
Yes, it has. Yes, amazingly so. I didn't expect that.
Well, do you know what? I know why it did, because it's so genuine and it's so real, and it really I believe it kind of hits people to the core.
Yeah.
The experience that you had on Etsy, I just thought, wow, this is really amazing. Like, you've gone to the detail, and because you're helping people really understand and to be aware and the pitfalls. And so I think, Karen, I think you've done a fantastic service to the community, really, to help people out, to be honest.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I did get a lot of thank yous for warning and pre-warning them about the steps to take and what to be aware of. Yeah.
Yeah. So Karen, just if you don't mind, tell me what happened exactly. Tell the audience what happened, because we would love to know.
All right then. Okay. So I wanted to start selling on the Etsy platform. I already have a Shopify account. And so I wanted to increase my scale by just broadening my audience, because what I did realize is that I am selling patterns and quilts to people who I teach to make quilts. So as much as they buy the patterns, they don't necessarily buy the quilts. I may get the one odd sale. So I usually sell a lot of my patterns on my Shopify account. However, that was the reason for opening the Etsy account, was to widen my sales and to sell my quilts, because I've got so many of them. Okay, so I decided to open the account, and on that particular morning, I was a bit tired because I had been making videos and quilting back to back. And so as I proceeded to do that, and I got to the area where I needed to put in my card detail to open the account. Now, I was a little bit dubious, only because I'm so scared of putting my card details on the internet, especially with a platform I'm not familiar with. So with that being said, I continued, I logged in, started filling out the form, and came to the part to put in the credit card details, which I did, put it in. And then within 2 minutes later, I got a message saying that I needed to send my follow these steps, click this link to follow the step too, because my card has been either not followed through it, or something was wrong, but there was a problem somewhere. So I sat and I thought to myself, well, that's a bit odd, because I watched so many Etsy programs and how to fill out for the SEOs and stuff like that, just to make sure I got it right so that I can get sale. So when that message came in, it actually said, in order for you to get your sale through, you need to click this link to update your card. And I'm thinking, well, I just gave the card. How can Etsy get this so wrong? But I'm not tired. I'm been a bit tired and a bit stressed, and I'm a bit grumpy. I'll be honest about that. I was a little bit, but okay, right. I'm just going to go get it. So I walked all the way upstairs, got the card. And as I am looking at the card, I didn't put the details. I did click the link, and mind you, this message came through on the Etsy platform. So that's why I believed it. I didn't think for a minute that it was somebody else. So I came to the platform when I clicked the link, and I'm talking to the person, and I'm saying, why do I need to put it in? And said, well, something is going on. I need to put the card details in again. Okay, went upstairs, got it, came back down, said, and I'm typing in the details that they wanted on the card. So with that now, they came back and said, well, you need to get the PIN number or some code number from your bank. Give the bank, call the bank or text the bank. So I did that. I did follow through on what they actually instructed me to. So after that, the bank then texted me and said, do not give this code to anyone. No one should need this code. With that, my heart is beating. I can literally feel my hands shaking, and I just don't feel right. Something telling me something is wrong here. Why do I need to put this in? And looking back, I can see that, normally you don't give your card details to make a payment to get a debit, different codes that you actually enter. So I'm feeling like, I'm feeling really strange. My tummy's aching, and, I'm cramping up, and I'm thinking, no, this doesn't feel right. But if it wasn't for that code that the bank said, do not give this, spoke to me, because normally I will ignore that code. If I'm looking at something, I feel plastic for the business I'm working, I'll ignore the code. But this time it came up, and it was on my phone. It came up right in the phone, and it said, do not give this code to anybody. And I'm staring at it, And then something said to me, do not give that code. Do not give that code. And I closed the app and I put the phone down. And it's only in that moment did I realize it was a scam. And not only that, the bank texted me the code saying that they wanted to take $500 from the account. I'm thinking,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Yeah. So all those things made me realize, well, none of my items is over 500. I didn't put anything up that cost 500 at that time. I'd only list probably about 3 to 4 items, something.
Sorry, I lost you for a second. Only for a second. I just got to the bit where we were talking about the bank, about the $500 bit. Yeah.
Yeah, the bank said on that same code, so and so company wants to take, and that's another thing as well. It didn't say was Etsy, was it so and so company wants to take $500, and it said, and it gives the code, and it said, do not give this code to anybody. And that when in that moment, I realized something was wrong. And it's only when I closed the app and something said, no, don't give that code. And I know that code, that voice was God. I know that in every fiber of my body.
Yeah.
That was the Holy Spirit. Don't do that, Karen, because you will be regretful, And I put the phone down. And as soon as I put the phone down, instantly I was relieved of all of the stresses my body was going through at that time. And I realized I started shaking and thinking, oh my God, almost been scammed. Because I've lived in the UK for many years and I've never encountered that. And there's a big scam system in Australia. Huge. You're always want to be careful. A lot of people lose thousands and thousands of dollars. There's only when I came to Australia, so I started being aware of all these big scams that's going on. But as I said, I've never experienced it or being so close to it at all. So it wasn't an eye-opener for me. It was very, very scary. So with that being said now, I didn't tell my husband.
Yeah.
My husband and I, we have a very honest relationship. So when he walked through the door, I said, baby, you know what? I need to tell you this. And the first thing he said to me was, is the bank account okay? I said, yeah, the bank account is fine. And he said, but how could you get that wrong? I said, I really thought it was Etsy because it had the orange logo of the Etsy written up. I said, I really thought it was Etsy. So I was just so relieved because I would have felt really stupid. As I said in the video, I value myself to be an educated, smart person that read between the lines and can figure things out. In this instance, they caught me. They really did. And I don't know why. I guess because I was tired. I was a bit stroppy. I probably just needed rest and I wasn't paying attention to the details, but they almost caught me. It was at the last minute that God said to me, don't hand over that code. And some people said to me, oh, it wasn't God, it was intuition. No, it wasn't. My intuition didn't stop me when I walked upstairs to get my quick car. My intuition just followed me. I went upstairs. I literally went upstairs, went into bed, went into my handbag, did all those steps, came all the way back downstairs, still input it into the phone to pass on the details. It's only when it came back that I literally, and I could still remember it. I was so scared. I really was. And it's not about the money. I don't think it's about the money so much. Is in that moment, people think, well, how can I fall for that?
Yes.
It's the out feeling that makes you feel, oh my God, I'm so stupid. That is what it is. Because many times the bank will give you the money back. Yes, you may have to go through some loops and stuff like that. But it's making you feel that I'm just an idiot. And you feel really bad about yourself that you should have noticed it. But I'm just really thankful, that's and after that moment, it wasn't too long after did I get my first Etsy sale. And I tell you no lie, I was so scared to open the app. I was so scared, because I'm thinking, is this real? Is it a fake? Because the scam still kept coming.
Yeah.
It still kept coming through. And it is what it is. And only then I realized that it is a message system on Etsy, that the messaging is there so that the customers can talk to the seller, and ask questions. So that is what that message system is for. But it's not messages from Etsy, And I was really cross with Etsy as well. I'm thinking, this should not be happening on their platform. They're a billion-dollar company. They should have barriers up to protect their sellers. And I just felt they're not doing that. And with the video going so wild, it is still happening. A lot of people, when they eventually see this, say, wow, I wish I'd seen this video before I sign up, because I would not have been scammed. And the amount of stories that I've actually gotten, and what I've also realized, a lot of my customers, a lot of my subscribers are elderly people, and they're not so inclined to double check. They take people at face value. They believe them.
Yes.
That's the direction they come from, your word meets some, so they're by that, so if you say you're going to do something, they expect you to follow through, but you're scamming them. And it's just...
No, absolutely. And the reason why so many people have viewed your video, because it's helped them and it resonates, because you're absolutely right. Etsy is a massive company. And to be honest, they need to take more responsibility with stopping these scammers coming on the platform. And I mean, look how big they are. There are other platforms out there, and I know other companies deal with things different ways. However, if they want more sellers to come on board and they want people to actually have the trust element is so important as well. Then they need to sort this out soon, because, people like yourself that have just come on to Etsy, let's say at the time, to have these scammers jumping on is like, that is just absolutely ridiculous. I'll be honest.
It is. It is. It totally is. And the thing is, the scam does not there. Because what they're doing is scaring the new person. I also find it quite interesting that how do they know that the person signing up is a newbie? Because the newbies don't know. The oldies know, in the sense of the people who've been on Etsy know, and doesn't contact them by this messaging platform, because Etsy will contact their sellers through Etsy messages, and it says that, but a newbie, it would just say messages. So how do the scammers know? And I'm thinking, someone actually said to me, is this an insider job? And I started wondering, well, is it? It's because how do they know that the person signing up is new? Because they're only tricking new people with that. And that's not the only scam. The other scam that's happening is that they're asking you to send you a check to make payment for the items you're selling, or can I buy over your store? And I've had those questions come over to me. And I'm thinking Etsy is just not, they don't care. That's my feeling about the whole experience, is that they don't really care about their sellers, because if they did, they will protect. They will definitely protect. Because as a crop, if you lose money big time, it puts you off of the whole platform.
Yeah, I think it's a sad thing, because look, from my opinion, Etsy is a great platform, and it's a great, like, for example, you said on Shopify, which is fantastic. That's your own website. You're in control of that fully. And also selling on marketplace like Etsy is a really good alternative anyway. And I do believe, like, even from my experience and other sellers I know, it's a really great platform to sell on. But there are flaws like these things, like with the scamming thing. And they need to do more. They need to have, like, a list of possible scams that we need to be aware of. There are policies. There's a lot more they can do, basically, a lot more they can. And it shouldn't be upon sellers like yourself that have to point these things out and have to go. And actually, you shouldn't have to go through the experience and that emotional trauma, because that's what it is, really.
I can still remember that morning very, very vivid. My biggest concern was having to tell my husband, and it's not that my husband is a boisterous person, but it's making you look silly in front of somebody who puts you on a pedestal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So going to your husband and say, well, sweetie, we've been scammed, or, I put in, and you'll be like, well, why? Why did you do it? It's just that inner feeling I feel is the worst. But it was therapeutic to literally go and talk about it, because I felt I had to. Because after it happened, I went and, did what I needed to do. Then I came back in the room and it was still pressing on me. And something just said, go make a video. Because I've never done anything like that before. Somebody say, go, tell others.
Yeah, no, honestly. And like I said, it really, really helped lots of people. When I watched it, and I watched many, by the way, scams and things like that. And I was like, wow, this is like so hard hitting, because it was raw, it was raw. And that's the thing. But like I keep saying, honestly, like scamming and things like that, they are everywhere in today's age, whether it be Instagram, scams,
Facebook. There are people out there looking to just hack and to get through. And to be honest, that's in all platforms. So I don't really want to put it onto Etsy, but Etsy needs to do more for sure. They need to do way more. They need to do more because it's a great platform and they're spoiling it.
Thing is that it shouldn't be on their platform. If you're going to set up, set up your store, that's the last thing you're looking out for. You wouldn't expect that to be happening on that because it's such a reputable platform, because it's such a well-known platform. That's the last thing you expect, and then the procedure is just to email them or just, and then they say,
no, it's not. You're not talking to a human either. That's the other issue. You're not talking. Yeah, it's a bot. And you said something really interesting as well, Karen. You said, for you to start off and you were onboarding and you were kind of joining Etsy, for you to get the scam straight away as well, which people have done. And that's the scary part. How do they know? So, are they that much in the platform that they know the newbies on the
Absolutely. And it's scary. It's very scary that, you go to sign up and that is what you're getting. I mean, and when I tell you, you get bombarded because another
I know.
Second to me was, your store will be closed if you don't follow through on the steps we've asked you to. Every second. I had to delete the app. Seriously, I had to delete it.
No, I mean, it can be stressful just to actually join Etsy, to be fair, just aside from the sort of scamming emails or messages that come through. It's true. Absolutely. And I think, with everybody that's watching this, drop a comment below as well. Just tell me what you think, what experiences you've had. And also remember what I said, you've got to check out Karen's video because that video, honestly, for the last videos that I've seen, that's probably the best one I've seen in a long time in terms of advice, authenticity, and really is hard hitting. But I mean, what would you say, Karen? What would you sort of leave the audience with? What kind of advice would you leave, everybody else that's watching this as a kind of final few thoughts?
Guys, just be careful. And if you're feeling stressed, because sometimes when you're a bit tired, that is when things goes wrong. And I think that was one of my mistakes. I was a bit grumpy and tired. I probably should have just leave it to another day until when you're, a bit more lively, you've had a bit more rest. And sometimes, as I said, when you're in that moment, the brain kind of lapses. You're not thinking, the fighting spirit is not there. So I would definitely say, leave it. If you're not ready, leave it. And if you are going to go through, make sure you question everything. Ask yourself, is this warranted? Do I need to do this right now? And I think one of the things for me that I didn't mention is that I asked God for wisdom to know when things are right, wisdom to know when things are feeling wrong, and just listen. Because as human beings, our body talks to us, our mind say things to us. And sometimes we decide, I'm not going to worry about that right now, I'm going to leave it. But that's the spirit of God telling you, you know what, probably I should take heed of this right now. So listen to yourself, whether you call it intuition, whether you call it a funny feeling, whether you call it this Holy Spirit, whatever it is, it's a voice that's telling you, leave that right now, come back another day. And sometimes that's just the heed you need to take to avoid making a mistake. But question everything. If it don't feel right, even if it feels right, still question it,
I think you said something real. Yeah, that's so important, And when someone is asking for money with urgency as well, that's one thing to always be aware of. That urgency, scammers tend to want something done now.
Right now.
Give us the details now. Anything urgent, just
Absolutely.
leave it as well.
Definitely. It's not right. Something's wrong.
Yeah, but absolutely listen to yourself because sometimes they're so sophisticated. And by the way, you said, you felt really like you felt stupid. You felt like, you were duped or you nearly got duped.
Yeah.
And honestly, you are not. Loads of people I have been on different platforms, scammed. So I thought, and I'm thinking, I should be better than that, or I should be smart enough to know. But honestly, anybody can be duped because they're so sophisticated these days and they're so smart. So it's just a case of just be aware, like you said, you nailed it. You said it exactly how it is. Just be aware, be careful, and don't rush. If someone's asking for something quickly, then take time. Listen to your gut, listen to yourself, and be aware and maybe speak to people. Sometimes there are forums as well. You can talk to others.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with that. Yeah. Seeking out other interests or seeking out other, advice can really help you to see things in clarity. Definitely.
But Karen, I'm going to leave it there. I just wanted to say thank you so much for talking to me today. I'm going to do a lot more of these real life stories as well. I think it really will help the audience and Etsy sellers. And also, guys, please check out the video. The link is in my description. Check it out after this video. You're going to love it. And do check out also Karen's store, the channel. And also, the channel is called Crafty Quilting Designs. I think it's fantastic. And do you have a link to your Shopify store as well on the channel?
Yes, it's all there on the channel in the description box. Press it and see what my store has to offer.
Yeah, definitely check it out, guys. So anyway, guys, put a comment below. And Karen, thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Bye.
And guys, I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.